We're in Nashville with Terri Brinegar. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you. I just want to point out that you really joined PrivateLessons.com a couple of years back, but you were in California.
I was in Los Angeles.
Right,
I lived out there for about 20 years, and then I was performing.
Okay.
Doing a lot of performing in different venues, and mostly in blues and R&B bands.
Okay, that's
and
good.
I kind of reached a point where I knew I wanted to pursue songwriting, so I moved to Nashville 2.5 years ago.
All roads lead to Nashville. Right?
Exactly. Nashville is the music capital of the world. That's why they call it Music City, because there are a million musicians here.
And what styles are your favorite?
To perform, I actually like to sing blues, R&B, and jazz. And the R&B I prefer is like old school kind of classic R&B. I like Etta James and Anita Baker and that kind of stuff. And so I kind of write in that genre. And
do you write both lyrics and music?
Yes, I write with piano. So I'm not a fantastic piano player like you are, but but it's good for writing. Okay. I can write competently.
That's great. Well, a little bird told me that at one point you went into classical singing. Tell me about this.
Well, I actually have a degree in classical voice.
Okay.
Just briefly, the way I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and my parents were bluegrass musicians. And so we had a family band. My mother wanted me to be the fiddle player in the band, so she gave me violin lessons. And of course, the lessons were with an Italian violin master, so it was classical violin. And I played violin for 9 years, all the way through high school. And I enjoyed singing, but I had never taken a voice lesson, and I was able to get a scholarship to the school of my choice, which was a true blessing. And I decided to go to North Texas State in Denton, and I wanted to be a voice major. So I studied classical violin. I never became a bluegrass fiddle player, but I got into classical music through that avenue. And then when I went to North Texas State, I studied with Virginia Botkin, and I studied classical voice, and I have a degree in vocal performance. I also was accepted to Juilliard, and I went there for a short time.
Amazing.
But then when I went to New York, I realized I didn't want to be an opera singer by profession. I enjoyed singing it, but I had so many other different musical passions that I wanted to really pursue singing R&B and blues and all those other rootsy musics that I had grown up on.
So you circled back to the music that's in your blood.
Yes, exactly.
That's wonderful.
Now I'm in Nashville, which is back with country music, which is not my favorite kind of music. I actually do write some country songs, but okay. I still kind of stick to the blues and R&B and jazz, but I still have my classical voice, and I teach classical singing.
Great. You just finished with the teaching, and that's what I wanted to explore. So you really have quite a range kind of in your arsenal of capabilities, you know.
Well, I do feel like that's my strongest point, is that I have a classical foundation, and I'm able to apply this foundation to different styles of music. I've been performing for many years in nightclubs and on big stages. I've sung at B.B. King's and House of Blues and those type of clubs. And so I've really learned the hard way how to get gigs, how to deal with club promoters and all of that, so I can actually advise people on those type of performance aspects as well in the current modern world, not just in classical music.
Wonderful. This is a great story. Thank you so much for visiting.
Thank you for having me.